All right. Well, welcome back to part 2. Well, you saw me finish off with the fuel cans. I'm going to show you that in a little bit, but I had a little problem. The reason I had to go get more fuel is because, yeah, I let Big Mo run out. I had no clue I was that low on diesel fuel. I was right here, ready to put this pallet up over here so I could slide this thing on the shelf over onto it, and blah, it died. And it died on the hill right here, and I lowered the bucket down, and you know, well, we got to bleed the fuel system again. And so I put 20 gallons in it. It's not full yet, but I put 20 gallons in here. And if you remember right, we've got to, I'll see if you guys, I'm trying to get you guys in the shot here the best I can. Right here on top of the fuel filter, this little doohickey here, we got to back that off. And I'm just going to use my little adjustable crescent wrench here for it. I think I can, this is the wrong direction to use a crescent wrench. I don't think I like this a whole lot. I think I want to get a real wrench. Yeah, I'm going to get a real wrench on that. And let's see here. There's another thing down here. Looks like I got plenty of fuel coming out of the pump. I was thinking that was 7/16. Yeah. No bubbles coming out of that. Now I'm down here on the pump. There's this little tiny, it's got a little cone shape to it. I'm gonna leave it halfway screwed in and roll it over and see if it'll just pump out any air that's in that. Well, could you guys see anything? I'm gonna pretend it did something. Shouldn't take much to get the air out of that, I don't believe. Now I'm going to roll it over a little bit. I don't think it's going to start because I got to bleed the injectors. What size are they? I don't recall. Figured it was, that's 5/8. Nope. Yeah, they're 5/8. I'm gonna crack them loose again. Here are we just cracking them loose. You don't have to have them too loose for the air to get out. And that's what we're after, is getting the air out. At least now I know I can possibly do this with the whole bucket down, because last time I did it with ease with the bucket up. Okay. I don't know if that was enough seconds. It's enough seconds to make things wet up here. If it's wet, I'm going to assume there's most of the air is out. Now I'm going to snug the injector lines back down so you can actually shoot some pressure into the cylinders. There's one, front one, middle one. Back one, okay. Let's see if we can get her to pop. So whatever amount of time that was in seconds to turn it over with the bleeders or the injectors, the injector line backed off. Come back here and put my tools away. That was enough time. So now I'll put away what I just drug out. All right. Well, that feels good to have that running again. Dun, 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 dun.
Darn.
Darn what?
You don't need some help.
No, I was able to do it by myself. I got it running. No, it's good to know I can do it by myself. Yeah. I didn't know if you'd had to be turning it over and I had to be watching, so I just turned it over with the injector lines backed off a little bit for about 20 seconds maybe. Saw a bunch of fuel hunk coming out there, figured all the ears out. She popped. We're good. This is good. Ugh. Now we can pick up where we left off. So the plan is, whoops, been around here. Ow! I gotta move this stuff out of the way, get that out of the way, that out of the way. I'm trying to get this old snowblower attachment drug onto this pallet is my plan. And that way, it's somewhere. I don't need it yet. My wife just asked me where the fan was. I thought she was my biggest fan, but it's okay. Let's move some stuff out of the way here. What? I'm gonna try to get this up into here so I can just drag it right onto the pallet. Now I have to do a whole lot of lifting. And we're going uphill. Freaking idle down off a red line here. A fly that's just sticking to my head. Okay. Up and away. Just pick up the back end. Back end is up. Curl the bucket. Curl the boom. Alright, now I can take the brake off and try to move. That might work. Oh, it's gonna hang up on everything. Maybe. Well, there we go. Easy does it. Chipped off a corner of my concrete. That's all right, it's pretty strong. What do we got going on here? Waspy wasp. Okay, where we ended the last video was modifying one of these. Now I've got 5 gallons of fuel in here. We're gonna see if we can put it in without spilling a whole bunch of it. You know, with the old style pre-EPA carb intervention. Looking for my stopwatch here. Stopwatch. I'm hitting start now. We'll see how long it takes to empty this with this style. So I know if the other one was over 4 minutes. So I'm gonna go like this. Oh, spilled just a couple drops. Then we're gonna let the big dog eat. Oh, smooth quietness. No. Now I'm not sure if this will hold 5 more. I'll have to look it up. I think this was a 30-gallon tank, and I've only put 20 in it from empty. We're getting close to full. Oh, we're full. Yep, that's full. Well, let's stop the stopwatch. That still took 1 minute, 30 seconds. Quite a bit of shaved time off what it took out of the other one. Sure as heck didn't have to hold that tank up very long. Well, clearly that method in can is so much better. Another EPA thing I read on that style of can, or the old style of spout, new style of spout, is it was to more child-proof it and reduce evaporation. And then the one I just read and I put on the previous video was it was to reduce spillage. Is spillage really that big of a problem? You got tankers leaking oil all over the oceans. One person losing 15 ounces a year times, I don't know how many million people, it's 300 million in the US, but they ain't all gas pouring age. All right. Well, good news is, it's comfortable in the shop because I've got the air running and my little fan, oscillating fan going back and forth. Now we're in a position to move these ramps that I knocked over back out of my way. Oh shoot, they went the other way. Dang it. Ugh. Didn't mean for it to do that. Whoa. Shut the door, Demi. Air's on. Okay. Oh. Boss caught myself calling me dummy. Whoa. Wait a minute. I dropped the rake again. Way to go, genius. I'm not sure which one's better. Alrighty. So, little bits and pieces at a time. What you doing out here? Sitting here all alone? Finding cats? Okay. All right. Well, I go take pictures of that Wisconsin engine, and I'll be right back. All right, folks, just to kind of give you a timeline of where we're at in the video. The video I previously posted prior to this video coming out was dropped Saturday, when was that, afternoon? Yeah, I believe so. And from that point on, I've been editing. I did editing and then dropped it, and then we're back out here in the shop. We're making some pretty good headway here. It always gets worse before it gets better. We have to make space as we're going. As you can see, this bench that is my target, and this bench is better, and this bench is mostly covered in, yep, it needs to be cleaned up. This has still got an 18 horse on it. So, but we're making some serious headway. Right, boss? Sure. Sure, she says. So this looks a lot the same, but it is different. They all have numbers on them now. I have rack 1A, 2A, and 2B. That ain't gonna work. Huh, I gotta renumber. We need to renumber that 2A to 1B, or 2, yeah, 1B. 1B. So, now the boss, she got after this cabinet. Check this out. That's pretty clean. We still got a bottom shelf to do there. That means there's still space to put stuff once we clean it up.
I see funnels.
She sees a funnel that's underneath the engine there. And we have a tote for just funnels. Now, guys might think, why would you have a tote just for funnels? Well, it dawned on me. So I lined the bottom of the tote with some of my box of rags. So if there's any drippings or drainages that come off with funnels, and right here is number 24, funnels. So I've got my burping funnel and all the rest of my funnels in there, so they're easy to get at. I can pull it out, pull a funnel out. Nice thing about having them in a container, and this is something I thought of yesterday while her and I were driving to town to pick up more totes. In case you're curious, we're using these 70 quart, 66 liter. They're 24 5/8 by 18 3/4 by 13 7/8, and they do snap here. They don't have a latching latch, but they do snap and they do hold pretty good, and they stack real nice. I'll show you that in a second. And she just saw where those are at. You can pull that bucket out and step right where that bucket's at and get that in there for now. Reason I'm clearing this all out is because I got a next big project coming in here, and I needed to get this organized and cleaned up before I even think about starting another project. One of the projects we'll be working on in the very near future is this gimbal housing for Big Blue. That's coming up. I've got tote number 50, number 53, and number 10 up here that all have stuff I'm putting in Big Blue. Plasma cutter, stuck it in a container. I don't use the plasma cutter every day, but when I do, I can throw it in there, pull it out, put it back. It keeps all the cords and everything wrapped up and contained. So that's nice for sure. That will have to go with, that goes with that square box right there, hon. There's a white square box, tall box there on the floor. That goes with that. It's on the floor. You can't see it probably from where you're at.
It's got grease all over it.
Well, we gotta wipe the grease off. Yeah, we're making messes and we're cleaning up messes. But the cool part is, this here is gonna go here, which is 120. I just want to put it back together so it's a good out drive. And then we got to place a rack back here. We can stick that on when we're done. So let me show you what I did outside. Well, so just walking around, you can walk around in here. Yeah, there's some big benches out on the floor. They're on wheels. I can move them around. But we're making space. I've got approximately right now 24 feet from here, from the front of this outboard to the door. My next project is 16 feet long. Yeah, 16 feet long, which it'll fit, which is good. Now out here, and the reason I decided to interrupt the time lapse and jump in here is I wanted to show you what we got going on outside here. So this is behind the shop thing. Still got the totes, the numbers. We got to number these yet. Problem I've got right now is I got all this aluminum scrap. That's not scrap, it's usable stuff. I want to put it in a pallet, and so we're going to put together a pallet here shortly, so I can put that on there because I want to get this shelf cleaned off so I can lower it down 4 inches to get it so it just clears here. Then I can put at least 2 more heights here. So right now we can hold 20 totes per shelf. So there's 10 per row, or 5 per row, 2 high, 20 totes can be stacked up here. So that's full. I want to be able to put 20 more totes here if I want to. Now the ideal thing is to have some leftover space. That's what I plan on having, some open space that I won't put anything in until I gather more stuff for when I take things apart. I got a place to go with it. Then I'll lower that top shelf down another 4 inches or whatever it's allowed me to go down, and that way it'll be better space up top to put some other stuff. Like I've got this leaf spring set that bolts onto the side of a frame that I could use for something. It's a complete set, so there's that. Then I could possibly put my old radiator up top and just some other, let's just call it odds and ends stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Now the other thing that was cool, go back in here, is that I found when we were cleaning off the benches, because now we're getting down to the knick-knack stuff. And when I say knick-knack, it's not just junk, but it is stuff I need to have a home for. And just like I found my Sikaflex that I was missing, a tube of it, I found it, and I knew I was going to be using it next on my gimbal housing, mounting that to the big blue. So I stuck that in there. That's not the tube, it's actually a caulking gun size. But I have to leave this space open up here because that's where the air conditioner is blowing out. And it's keeping this place halfway comfortable. Now it's actually 76.9 degrees over here, about yay high off the floor. But that's not bad comparatively to the 90 plus degrees it is outside today. So it actually doesn't do too bad of a job. I've got this shop super insulated. I would like to do better door seals eventually. But right now it keeps up, and it doesn't happen for free. But it does make it tolerable where you can be out here all day and get stuff done. Hey, you found another box of Ziploc bags. So why don't we take and put all the Ziploc bags in one of those plastic totes, the smaller ones? Then the smaller one can go over here behind this chair. And that way I know where they're at. But I found, when we're going through back to what I was previous thought, I found a light bulb in a box. One of my LED style light bulbs. And I'm like, I had other light bulbs, where are they? I went to my laptop that was already on, obviously, and it's gonna stay on when I'm out here, or when I'm in a middle of a project, because I'll be doing research and stuff like that. I was able to type in light bulb, and boom, tote 13. Went out and found tote 13, stuck that bulb, well actually it was up here behind there. Tote 13, stuck the spare light bulb in there. So the nice thing about that is things will have homes. And oh, you got them all loose in there? I thought you'd do a bigger one.
Well, I was going to, but...
Oh, okay, that's fine, it'll work. It'll fit in a tighter spot then.
Yeah.
Cool, actually we can set it up there right next to that 80-20 box.
But I need right Ziplocs on it.
You need to put a number on it.
Whatever number are we on?
Well, look at the number we're on. I think it's number 56. Is that right, or 57?
56.
56. So 56, and then you'll type 56 in there, and then you'll type in Ziploc bags, and then you'll put it on shelf 2B. In there. Cool? And then you can put a 1 next to it, which represents full. So there again, like I spoke earlier in probably the previous video, is that I put quarter, half, 3/4, and 1, so I know how full a tote is. So in a half something, like this number 54 here, tire mount stuff, I marked it as half full. So if I have another container that I need to put there for midterm type stuff, and it's also stuff that I don't want to freeze, I can look it up and go, I can look down the list and go half totes. I'm looking for half totes that are in these shelves. And I'm going, oh, here's a half tote. Double check the tote location, see if it'll work for my application, stick it in there. So it's working pretty good. Now somebody left a comment on the channel about using a access database, which would be more efficient, and he's not wrong. An access program is a database program, which is exactly what I'm doing here, is a database. And the nice thing is I can go through, because I have stumbled on to where I've run into something and go, oh, that's my third one of these, whether it's chain or boat covers or other stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I can actually come in here, like trailer wiring, for instance. I might have more than one tote of trailer wiring when I'm all done. I could go through and comb through my list on, you know, the rainy days and the days that you're trapped inside and not able to go outside and do fun stuff with big tractors and big trucks. I can organize even deeper, but right now it's very organized. I can just get better at it because I can consolidate. And that way I have one tote that has all my trailer wiring in it. Stuff like that. Cool. But it is getting more wide open in here. And the nice thing is, with everything on wheels, when I bring in a big project, I can roll the wheeled stuff to the walls, give myself tons of workspace, get the work done, and then get back after it. The only thing that really sticks out and is kind of a giving me a problem on depths would be this bandsaw here. It actually sticks out a ways, but it also is on wheels that I can move it to the side if I needed to. All right, we got to go get Big Mo. I got some boards and a pallet on it from last night. I got to make a little pallet rack to put, I don't want to call it pallet rack, a pallet to put all this aluminum on, so I can have this bulk aluminum, because eventually I've got a lathe now that I'm going to be working on, as you guys, some of you have seen in the video, and I have a eventually wouldn't mind having a mill that I can actually do some mill work on. And it's nice just to collect up these materials, because eventually, and materials is not getting any cheaper as the years march by, I'll have, let's just call it scrap material that I'm able to make things out of, which is awesome. All right, slowly but surely building the empire. All right, my wife, I mean, the boss actually came out and asked, goes, "You gonna do any digging today?" And I'm like, I wasn't planning on it. And she goes, "Well," I said, "Why? You want me to do some digging?" Because, you know, she's interested in seeing how this is how it's gonna look. She doesn't have the ability to visualize things in their finished state of, you know, when you have a dream or an idea, and like some people can and some people can't. And she's excited to see the progress, and then the puzzle pieces start coming together, and she's like, I get it. Right now it's hard to get, and I get it. And a few people I brought out here, they get it, but that's all there is to it. So for this situation, it's, let me show you what we can do. And then she'll trust me more as time marches on. Now, I did just find, here's my battery box that's uncovered on Big Mo. It has a clasp that's supposed to hook here and hold the battery in place and all that fun stuff. I just found a clamp that I didn't have to buy, because there again, I collect junk. So, pallets on there. Let's drive around in the shade and get this work done. About the temperature, it's actually 89 degrees right now. Humidity is 63, which ain't awful, but it's pretty humid. Always feels better when it's below 50. But high is supposed to be 92 today, so. Still in third gear, shifted back to first, which is kind of slow, but slow and steady wins the race when you got fairly uneven ground. Second gear is not bad, but first gear is easier on everything. We're going to pull up here by the old burn barrel and get the shade and put the wooden pieces on this pallet. Good news is I found my screw gun and screws, because I forgot where we'd put them, and I've been needing it, so I've been using a drill for the last couple little small things I did, but I forgot we had used it to fasten the mortar shells, mortar tubes, down to the plywood for our fireworks show. So my goal is here, yeah, that would work just fine. Don't have to be perfect. And these were already cut. These are leftovers from, I built a barn door type situation in my basement. So I might have to cut one of them. But I think this is gonna work pretty good. Like that. Some might be inclined just to nail something like this together, but I want to be able to take it apart, possibly, if I never need it again. Now that I just do that all wrong probably, because I probably want to, dun dun dun. But I wanted to make that one shorter. So this won't be so much a trapezoid. You know what? I'm gonna just use it. I'm gonna use it as is. I ain't scared. What if I slide this inside? You know, if I had that the other way, it would work. Yeah, I'll put these. Yeah, that'll work. Then it'll be more square, and I'll be able to live with myself. So I do this like this. I left the boss inside. She's still putting some things in containers. All right, folks. We got to still move a few shelves outside. We got the one shelf moved down. As you saw, you had to use the come along to get it to, I had to lower the outboard holder that was bolted to the rack so I could lower the shelf down low enough. But now I can put, I got 20 totes on the bottom. I can put 20 totes here, and I can lower the top one down and gain 10 plus more inches on top to put other smaller totes or leaf spring sets or something like that to store outside for good keeping. But I'm gonna call this done. I won't take any more of your time, but it's worked out really well. I mean, we might even have an echo in here now. Standing back here, that's going into my car and heading to work for a little project at work for fun. But these tubes here will eventually end up outside. Only reason they're not outside is because I didn't want them to get rusty. But you saw this rack earlier in the video. It's clean. Got my broom here. Pole saw needs to find a different home. But move my laptop over here, so it's right there. Gonna eventually hook up 2 more monitors to it so I can do some really good research. Gonna got an out drive to put away. That's got over half a thing of oil in it for my for Big Mo. But so we got a pretty good start on things. The lathe bench is here. Got a few things on it I need to tuck away yet. We're going to pull this back out in the middle and work on it sometime here soon. We've got empty totes that I'll store. I got a totes inside a tote. We ended up with over 60 totes worth of stuff here total. And as I use and consume some of this stuff back here that I have earmarked for projects, totes will free up and I can continue to recycle and reuse these totes. But this bench, I was going to clean it off completely. Mostly what's here is an 18 horse fast twin that I need to put back together. And that'll be an upcoming project. I need to put this guy back together so I can put it back in the rack. So we're just going to keep plugging away. I've spent an entire weekend sorting and cleaning only to make it look almost usable. Sure. But right now I could actually back a boat in here, a small boat, and do some work on it. Or bring my next project to the center of the room and work on it. I can bring my weld bench out here and work on that. Work on making my fuel tanks. I could pull engine stand out to the middle and work on it. I could pull my lathe out, plug it in, and work on it. Anyway, I've got space. So, thank you everybody for watching part 1. The YouTube thing will tell you how well a video is performing based on the last 10 videos released. And the part 1, that I can't do this anymore, part 1 went to the top, went to number 1 in my list and stayed there with over 300 views. Now, typically, if you look at other channels, you know, I'm looking at one that has 800,000 views in like 42 hours. It's like 48 hours. It's like, someday, maybe, if I grow my audience big enough, but some of the stuff I do doesn't draw a big audience, so we'll see how that goes. If I was rebuilding cars and rehabbing cars and stuff like that, I think I'd do a lot better. But I take what I can take, and I don't complain. Alrighty, so thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this inspired you to organize and sort your shop out. I think it's worthwhile. It actually has come in handy already. I've already find stuff. I'm like, I know where I've got some more of this stuff, and I do a search in my spreadsheet, and sure enough, I'll find the tote. It'll tell me where the tote's at, and I go find the tote, and open the lid, drop it in, put away, and document it in the spreadsheet. So that's really awesome. That's already working for me. I've already had to find stuff, put some stuff together, and I find confident that I can relocate most everything that I've got. So when it comes into my brain, it's like, I know I got some of those, you know, search for it there first on the spreadsheet. And then when I find it, awesome. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There will be links in the video below to take you to other things I've used in this video and other videos. And don't be afraid to follow those links. And you guys be good to one another. This is Michael saying, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. And we'll see you on the next video if I'm lucky. Thank you, and have a great day. I bet you guys thought I forgot about the finish of my funnel story. Well, I did until I was editing the video, and then I'm like, I owe these people an explanation. So as I told you before, the funnels are all in a tote. And that makes good sense because over the years, I've kept funnels on a shelf. And every time I went to use a funnel, I had to spend a lot of extra time wiping it out, cleaning it out, because they usually have oil residue and stuff like that. So I want to clean it out. I would take carburetor cleaner, maybe waste some carburetor cleaner flushing it out. But in the tote, they stay clean. Whatever residue can run off into a little bit of towel on the bottom, I can change those out periodically. And then I've got a clean, dust-free funnel. Cool. So, finish that thought for you guys. Now enjoy a little bit of Big Mo doing some yard work. And we'll see you on the next video for real this time.